It's Monster Energy Cup Series final practice from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the most famous racetrack in the world, right here in Speedway, Indiana. And because of this big, beautiful racetrack, we will do this race radio style, meaning Mike Bagley from MRN Sirius XM Radio will be in turns 1 and 2 calling the action. Once he hands them off to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will be in turn 3, also has the dirt track and the golf course that he'll be focusing on. And Jeff Burton, who actually was just in the NBC car on the track, will be in turn 4, so we won't hear from him right away until he hands it off then to us, Steve Letarte and myself, up here in the booth at the start-finish line. Let's check in with the guys out there on their perches. We start with Mike Bagley.
Hey, Rick, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As you can hear and see, cars are on the racetrack right now at the south end of the Brickyard, turns 1 and 2. The challenge is getting comfortable, making sure that car can angle in right, get some comfort coming into turn 1, but really be comfortable coming off 2 and getting that launch onto the back straightaway. That's the key. You want to get the launch off the corners so you get as much straightaway speed as possible. Once they leave turn 2, as Rick mentioned a moment ago, we'll race up the back straightaway where Dale Jr. is positioned in turn number 3.
Yeah, we're going to watch those guys go down the back straightaway and see what kind of runs that'll develop for those guys with this rules package. Are they going to be able to make runs down the back straightaway? They're going to give them passing opportunities entering turn 3. Also, being able to get through turn 3 is really important, really crucial. You go through turns 3 and turns 4 where Jeff Burton is. Turns 4 leads onto that front straightaway, down to that flag stand, trying to get stage points, stage wins, race wins. A lot of moves off of turn 4 this weekend.
Should be exciting. We look forward to seeing them rocket out of turn 4 and come back to the yard of bricks right here in front of us. Let's go into the garage area, and Marty.
Rick, all eyes this weekend will be on the 7-time champ Jimmie Johnson, staring down the possibility of missing the playoffs for the first time in his career. Chatted with Jimmie just a moment ago. He told me the car had a ton of speed in it, but it was extremely loose. In fact, they made a mock qualifying run in the first practice session. They were 6/10 off, but he told me, I'm not too worried about it. My teammates had a lot of stability in their car, so they made several changes to the 48 for this practice session, and confident with how good it is down the straightaway. So we'll see if those changes work. They're going to focus solely in this practice session on race runs. That's it for the 48, but they were extremely free in that first practice session.
And the schedule's a little bit different in the fact that 2 practices today on Saturday, and then qualifying will be tomorrow morning before the race. So once they go through qualifying and finish qualifying, cars impounded, they'll take them right to the grid and get them ready.
Well, and you see the playoff standings. Jimmie Johnson currently 18th, 18 points behind. The good news is I really think 18 points can be gained. I don't think it has to be a race win. I mean, I think he's going to have good stage runs. It could look like a must-win if he strikes out in stage 1 and stage 2. That's why I'm a little shocked they're not going to make maybe one more qualifying attempt, because I think they are going to have to be somewhere in the top 5 or 6 in that first stage, kind of start filling that points bucket. But you know, Marty mentioned his teammates. Well, here are 3 of them right here: Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman in the 88, William Byron in the 24. This looks almost like a scheduled run of getting the cars nose to tail. All the conversation I have in the garage area is traffic. How is your car going to drive in this situation right here? If you're the 88 of Alex Bowman, you're getting the air off the back of the 9. You have the 24 on your rear bumper. How does all that air from the other cars affecting yours, as well as the 24 of Byron there? How is it being the 3rd car in line?
Yeah, you can see it. Byron a little bit loose through turn 3 that last time by. Able to stay pretty close to the back of that 88 car of Alex Bowman. Bowman not able to close in on his teammate Chase Elliott, but I'm with you, Steve. I think these guys planned this run right here to be able to get around there and see how their cars react in traffic. No better way to do that and understand what's going on and share that information with each teammate in the next debrief.
Yeah, because you kind of get both sides of it right here. Right now, the leader and the trail car are both going to have it. We see the 24 going to look to the bottom. No, not going to be able to make the pass. I really think you got to be able to get to that guy's quarter panel. If you can get inside up to the quarter panel, I think you could dump some air on his spoiler, maybe pull him back on your way by.
Yeah, we see that 24 out there, and William Byron, he has a chance to make history. William Byron could win the pole for every crown jewel in NASCAR in 1 year. Is that amazing? What a feat that would be for this young driver.
Oh, it's unbelievable because every team I think puts a little extra preparation for those weekends. And there's such variety, right? One's at Daytona, here, Darlington, Charlotte, you know, the different size racetracks, how you approach. I think we trade all those poles for a win.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw Jeff Gordon take this 24 to victory lane here at the Brickyard. It has great success here. Could William Byron break through? Great car last week. They got behind on one slow pit stop. And then they never really seemed to recover and then got into that accident at Darlington, but they had a good car. You saw Chase Elliott. That was a pretty big slide off the corner right there.
I think everybody in the crowd during the first practice was pleasantly surprised with the speed that they saw out of Jimmie Johnson. His name was up on the top of the scoring pylon here for quite some time, turning some pretty quick laps early in that first practice session. And you had just mentioned, you know, 18 points back. He's 18 points back from 2 drivers. So that's the other thing that you have to think about is he's going to have to leapfrog 2 drivers if he wants to get into the playoffs using points.
Well, he's going to need help. If those drivers go out there and score points in the stages, then it becomes a pretty futile effort. You know, you're not gaining anything on them. This is interesting. So I'm really watching the 22 of Joey Logano right here. I think the 2 Hendrick cars kind of working together. I don't think they have a plan with Joey Logano. So can this 22 car close the gap, right? And what I mean by that is, so he looks like he's a little stuck, what, 5 car lengths, 10 car lengths back. Can he find a way through that air to gain on those 2 cars in front of him? I know he will if they get side by side, but if they stay single file, will that be efficient enough that Joey Logano just won't be able to close in?
I think it's really interesting to see the 24 Byron right up behind the 88. And the 88's not able to catch the 9. And the 24 and the 88 together are not able to catch the 9. It's allowing that 22 car to close in. We'll see if he can get up there and do anything with it. But Byron is faster than the 88 car, but not able to get by. Marty.
Hey, Dale, I was talking to Todd Gordon, the crew chief for Joey Logano. We were focusing on that 22 a moment ago. And usually, Steve, this is where the teams would kind of bring their playoff preview cars, right? They'd bring the latest and greatest stuff right before you hit the playoffs. Todd told me that's not the case for anybody this year because Indianapolis is such a different racetrack. Going to be unlike anything they're going to see in the playoffs. All those cars will come out next week at Las Vegas, so we don't get a real glimpse of who's going to be strong in the playoffs like we normally would at Indianapolis this time around.
And Marty, so much depends upon momentum, especially when you're getting ready to enter the playoffs. You take a look at Joey Logano's last 5 finishes, not very impressive.
I don't call that momentum. That's going the wrong way. I mean, you know, top 15s, top 20s, that's not going to work in the playoffs. I've heard a lot of these teams say, listen, I know you can advance with points, but we're entering thinking it's must win in each round. That's the guaranteed ticket into the next round.
Right now, Eric Jones is fastest in this final practice. Matt DiBenedetto, Daniel Hemrick, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, the top 5. It's Monster Energy Cup Series final practice from Indianapolis, the Brickyard. You can experience live racing action and exciting infield entertainment while building a community with other fans. No matter if you're camping for the weekend or partying all week long, there are great camping opportunities at all NASCAR tracks. Go to NASCAR.com/camping. Seeing a lot of cars making their way from off the track and into the garage area. Well, one of those cars, the NBC sports car, was just out there giving some ride-alongs, and Jeff Burton was behind the wheel. But now, Jeff, you've made it up into your perch in turn 4.
You know what, Rick, went out on the racetrack, was fortunate enough to do that a little while ago, and when you roll out there and you realize you're at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the racetrack, that's just an incredible feeling. The history here is amazing, and now I got the best seat in the house, man. There's no doubt about it. I got a great seat. Can watch. I got a great view of turn 3, turn 4, all the way down the front straightaway into turn 1. I got TV, I got time and a score, and I'm in a good spot over here.
So, Jeff, I got a question, though. You know, Indianapolis forever had a very distinct look. You could see where the cars ran. They ran low in the corners, high on the straightaways. The track looks a little darker, and some of those markings are kind of gone. Did it seem like it was harder to see the natural groove when you were out there?
For me, Steve, it really didn't matter, but, you know, every driver has a different visual reference. My visual references were always on the left side of the racetrack and finding where the curb starts, right? Where you see there's about a 1.18-inch wide piece of concrete. That's my reference point. That's what I want to see. So for me, it made no difference. And where I got to that point on the racetrack, that's what I always looked at. Now, I never won here before, so maybe I wasn't doing it right, but it didn't mess my visuals up at all.
So you're mentioning you see Kyle Larson right here inside. What is it, about 2 feet from gray where the grass is gone. What year did they? I remember it used to be just grass for the first few years, and the drivers would actually clip the grass, and then that inside concrete curbing was added for the stock cars.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, if you go back in time, that was artificial. Well, not artificial, but it was sod laid down there, and it was staples in that would hold it. And those would come up on the racetrack, and you would cut tires. And they took that away. Good move, taking that away. And now, you know, they've got that concrete area where you can run, and it's way better. But again, that to me, that's what I looked at. That's what I wanted to see as a race car driver. I really never looked out of the right, except for the braking zones. So if we look on the entrance to turn 1 and the entrance to turn 3 on the walls, the outside wall, there's numbers 3, 2, 1. Those are braking zone numbers that a driver can reference about when he wants to start lifting off the gas and start using brake.
I was referencing and talking with Daniel Hemrick during that first practice, and he said he is more of a driver that uses the wall. So he said it was weird not having that line out there that he was used to, but he watches the wall most of the time. All right, guys, can you take us for a lap? Let's ride along with 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson. Will the drivers take us for a lap here, Jeff? You and Junior?
Yeah, man, I'm sure we can. So turns 1 and turns 2. This end of the racetrack, I think it's a lower end group racetrack. I don't know if you agree with that, but he's coming down, heading your way.
Down the back straightaway, long back straightaway, trying to get a draft off the car in front of him. Want to be able to get as close as he can to this car on the corner entry to understand exactly how much grip he has in the front of the car, turning down into 3, how much he'll have to lift. See a little bit of wheel movement, car not really comfortable the back end headed to you, Jeff.
Yeah, so now, again, that concrete on the left side, trying to get the left side tires right against that and be back to the throttle really early. These straightaways, there's nothing like it. I mean, you last forever, but the whole time you're thinking about, okay, how do I do turn 1 right? What do I need to do? See Jimmie Johnson lifting, he's had enough, going to come in and work on the car some, but you know, these long straightaways, Junior, give you a lot of time to think.
Jimmy's trying to find some traffic to run in. He actually pulled over and let the 1 go, and then the 1 quit on him.
Well, you know, they had that plan to go out with their teammates, and they were late to be able to get out there, weren't able to get around and run with their teammates, so he's in race trim trying to accomplish the goals that Chase Elliott, Alex Byron are able to do. Get out there and run behind some guys. This is a good distance to be behind the car. Hemrick in front of him, helping him understand just how much grip he's going to lose in the front of the back of the car as he's following traffic here.
When we talk about leadership, I like Cliff Daniels, new crew chief on this 48 a few weeks ago. Some good leadership here. Jimmy, we need to go run in traffic. Don't go run by yourself. We're wasting our time. Tell me how it drives. The 1 pulls off, still not a good excuse. Go find another car to get behind. Leading this 48 team, trying to put them in the best position to understand their race car, because you're going to have to be good here. Ultimately, I mean, unless you hit the pit strategy absolutely perfect, you're going to have to run behind someone, figure out which car does.
We're going to have great vantage points from 3 different drivers. We got to thank Jimmie Johnson, Austin Dillon, and Daniel Suarez. All are going to be wearing helmet cams for the race on Sunday. Marty.
And checking in with that 48 team and that helmet cam view Jimmie Johnson has. And Cliff Daniels feeling confident about the car, even though they were pretty far off in that first practice session with how loose the car was. They did bolt on some things from their teammates. But he made an interesting point to me, and Jeff, you probably can understand this. He said when you're loose here, it kind of compounds at Indianapolis. A little loose into 1, you lose time. Then that hurts you in turn 2. Then it hurts you in turn 3. So this is one of those racetracks where if you're loose early in a lap, it'll really take away lap time for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, Marty, I don't see any way you can make lap time if your car is free on corner entry here. You have to aggressively go after these corners, and then you have to aggressively be back in the throttle. And right here, if Jimmie Johnson can't positively turn the wheel and know the car is going to stick, there's no way he can attack the way that he needs to attack to make lap time.
Everyone continues to chase Eric Jones as far as 1-lap speed here. Eric Jones the fastest. That's Benedetto right there with him, top 2. There's the Mobil 1 Peacock pit box right there on pit lane, and that's where Countdown to Green will be coming up here next at 2:30. Then 3 o'clock, it's Xfinity Series Racing from Indy. NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. About a half hour still remaining in this final practice for cars to get on track, but not a lot have been taking advantage of this track time. A few cars trying to work together, some coming onto pit road.
Sorry, Rick, I was so distracted by the beautiful blue sky. After 4 straight days of rain last year, the race changes dates this year. Parker Kligerman here.
Parker Kligerman. We love the fact. So Parker will be running in his first Cup Series race at this racetrack.
Good for Parker. He'll be covering the Xfinity Series race later, a couple hours with us. He'll be over at Junior's Perch in turn 3. But I was, you know, after bad weather a year ago, it's so nice to come here. The weather is absolutely outstanding. If you're watching this and you're a short drive away, you want to come out and check out Indianapolis, you need to do it. The weather is great. I mean, I can't think of a better weekend for racing.
Ideal. Marty.
Another bubble driver we're going to watch this weekend, the 6 car of Ryan Newman, heading out for run number 3 of the day. Still too free. That's what they struggle with in the first practice session, but they say the car is better. Steve, I think most concerning for me, this is his 3rd run of the day. We talked about he's only turned 4 laps, so both of the first 2 runs were 2 laps, Newman said, enough, and brought it to the garage area. What you'd like to see is your driver doing 5, 6, 7 consecutive laps in a row here at Indy, not 2 laps and coming to the garage.
Yeah, and I think that actually becomes even more significant because with this amount of downforce, I'm not sure you have a very thick notebook here. One time we've seen this package kind of run here, at least a piece of it. So I really think how your car drives right now, lap 4 or 5 versus lap 15 or lap 20, is going to be very significant to who runs well in the race. I just think unless you get on those old tires in practice, you're not going to be able to, I mean, that's just something tough to guess.
Yeah.
Guess that it's going to build loose or tight. I mean, I look at the laps run, right? We have Joe Logano's run 20 laps in this practice.
All right, guys, there was a little controversy that took place between Ryan Newman and the guy he's fighting for a position, Daniel Suarez, in the playoffs. So let's call this. Was there contact or not?
Well, I think there was contact. I mean, looking at the replay, it's hard to tell. I think there was contact, or at least some responsibility on the shoulders of Daniel Suarez for what happened there. I'm not going to speak for Jeff, but he said time and time again that he doesn't believe that there was contact there. But I believe that Suarez does carry some responsibility for putting the 6 car Newman in a bad situation and getting him out of control there.
This is where drivers disagree. So I don't see any contact. There was no marks on either car after the race. And then, you know, if you're going to pass somebody, what do you do? You know what I mean? You can't wait for the guy to make a mistake. So Daniel was pushing the issue for sure, but we know that Ryan Newman wasn't making it easy on him. So the guy in front of you is not going to make it easy on you. Then why should you make it easy on him? So I think it was just a racing incident. But it really doesn't matter what Junior and I think. What really matters is what these 2 guys think, right? So what is Ryan Newman's approach? Is he like, you know what, I'm done with Daniel Suarez. I'm not going to cut him any slack. And what is Daniel's thought about the 6 car and Ryan Newman? That's really what matters. How they deal with this tomorrow is they're both trying to get themselves in the playoffs.
So that's where I stand on it. You know, Ryan Newman, you got to be very careful when you build a reputation. It can help you in instances. I think Kyle Busch's reputation helps him on the restarts. People are worried about him. Ryan Newman's reputation is you can't pass him. So if I'm the 41 of Daniel Suarez, what did you expect? I've been back here for a couple laps. I can't get around it. You're taking up most of the racetrack. You've been on record your whole career saying you're not going to give a spot. So whether he hit him or not, I think that's how Ryan Newman at some point has to expect to be raced.
His reputation.
His reputation, and he backs it up every chance he gets. And I don't have a problem with how Ryan races. It's his decision. But I feel that Ryan needs to be very careful that he's, out of the blue mad that someone hit him in the left rear quarter panel? Like Daniel Suarez had enough. He needed to go by.
And you go back the race before, and Matt DiBenedetto trying to get by him at Bristol, and some contact was made there as well. Marty.
Well, Rick, we talked about Ryan Newman. Let's talk about Daniel Suarez handling-wise in this practice session. They were too free in the first practice, so they kind of put on a completely different setup for this practice session. Now Suarez says it's on the splitter and not balanced front to back. So, Steve, what do you do in that situation, right? First practice session, you were one direction. Now the second practice session, you're the complete opposite end of the spectrum. How do you fix that?
I know this sounds silly, but I'm actually thankful if we're at the opposite end. Nothing's more frustrating than having the same problem from 2 complete practices, because now tonight, you're like, well, how much further can we go? We never kind of what I call, jump the fence. We didn't get to the other side of the playing field. Fortunately for the 41, they know what they changed. They got too far one way. You can always come back halfway, hopefully find something in the middle. So while it can be frustrating, as Marty points out, at least you made a change. I've had cars that you work on for a weekend and they never change how they drive. I think those are even more frustrating.
Steve, how much is the driver involved in those changes? Because you're going to have all of that data as far as what you did in a lap. Can the driver come in there and say, okay, here's the deal. This just didn't feel right at this point in time?
So the biggest thing I think a driver does in today's world is try to pinpoint the location in the lap where the issue exists. There's so much data. They can see what the driver's doing with his hands and his feet with the data. They have pictures and video of the car all the way around the racetrack, so you can see how high it is off the racetrack. But they still have to locate the spot. So as we ride along board right here with Daniel Suarez, he needs to tell them, all right, so when I go into turn 3, this moment in time, this exact spot on the racetrack. And sometimes he has to use his input. So talk about whether he's on or off the gas, how much he's turned the wheel. So maybe it's the first third, maybe it's the second third, maybe it's my left front just touches the concrete. Once that spot is located, then the engineers can look at the data and try to fix that spot. But they gotta have a map, right? You just can't, hey, drive west and let me know when you get somewhere.
So tonight you're not gonna sleep is more or less the situation.
I sleep way better now than I ever did, Rick. Way better.
Yeah, now that you're in television. We've talked a lot about the guys on the bubble fighting for a spot in the playoffs. It all ends right here. You're either in or you're out at the end of tomorrow's race.
We're gonna go down the strip, do some burnouts. You can do it. Just put her in first and pin it. Good luck. Okay. Is there room for one more?
Yes, get in.
All right, great. I'll get in the back. Go get him, Harv. Is this how you imagined your Burnout Boulevard experience to go, Kyle?
At some point, yes, because I figured our show car would blow up.
Here we go. It's like a tug of war.
That was a Ford versus Chevy battle. Hey, style points, though.
Creativity. It's a solid 10.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
My tire has come apart.
Do not tear your car up. Whatever you do, go have fun, do a burnout, put on a show, but don't tear your car up. He tore the hell out of it.
Burnout Boulevard. Cannot wait. That's coming this Thursday, live from Las Vegas, 7 o'clock. Steve, you're a very valuable part of that show.
Kelly and I, we're back at it right on street level out there on the strip. So much fun last year. Whoever thought it was a good idea to give NASCAR drivers their car on Las Vegas Boulevard to do a burnout? What a crazy idea. And it was entertaining. I think we should like Mike Boyer
always.
Always.
There should always be a microphone on Clint Boyer.
I'm not rooting for anybody in the playoffs, but I'm rooting he makes it just for him in the Burnout show.
So now we're watching Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chase Elliott. Those two about as close as we've seen cars together today as they rocket down the front stretch. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. cutting the wake for the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott dives into 1 right behind him.
And it seems like, Rick, that Chase can't take advantage of that wake. He'll get to a certain point, and he can't pierce that bubble. He'll try to dive to the inside, and then he'll lose some momentum through the corner, but he'll be able to make up some of that ground on the straightaway, but he's still trying to find a way to pierce that bubble and get to Stenhouse's inside on corner.
Yeah, Chase Elliott and Stenhouse both 20th and 21st in practice. Chase run about 14 laps out there today. Can't seem to be able to close ground on that 17.
And Chase Elliott was actually in front of the 17. Let him go to get behind him. Chase Elliott, this has not been a good racetrack for him. He has never finished better than 15th at Indianapolis, so you have to wonder what their expectation is this weekend.
And right now we see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting to separate himself a little bit from the 9 of Elliott.
And he's doing that at corner entry. Right now they're starting to catch some other traffic, see if Stenhouse maybe can close in on the Kyle Busch car. But right now, I mean, both cars are stable here in the corner. It just seems like that Chase really has his work cut out for him, especially on the straightaways.
He's able to gain a little ground there as he goes down the back straightaway. A little bit of a run toward the corner, turn number 3. 9 car closed in just a little bit, see if he can maintain that gap and continue to try to make a move on that 17 here through turn 3 into turn 4.
17's not really painting the bottom of the racetrack, leaving a little bit of it open. That's giving the 9 car some clean air to get on that nose, and he's using it to his advantage. I think Stenhouse is learning a lesson right here. Going to have to take all the air away from that 9 car.
It's a battle of inches. You're not going to make up 20, 30, 40 feet. You got to make up a few inches, a few feet each set of corners, and now he's the closest we've seen him as they enter 1.
Perhaps maybe it takes a long time to get that run. Seems like Chase finally has it. He's been able to shut it down, but he'll get about 2 car lengths separation, and then Chase again starts to wrestle that race car. He's still a little wide coming off 2 that time through.
Yeah, as he gets close to that 17 car, there it is a little bit dirtier. Starts to lose a little front grip, front turn in that 9 car. Can't carry the throttle through the corner that the 17 and Stenhouse is able to do, and Stenhouse is able to bridge that gap a little bit.
And watch Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now he is covering that all the way down that concrete patch, right? He was leaving about 18 inches. And that is hurting the 9 car. Just that little bit of difference on getting there to that left front fender makes a huge difference, Steve.
Yeah, it's all about mistakes. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., as long as he doesn't miss the bottom, I believe he's actually just playing defense, blocking that air from the 9. Another great battle on the racetrack right here. I believe it's 2 cars running closer together, working on their stuff. Is the 2, Brad Keselowski, the 8 of Daniel Hemrick.
Those cars coming through turns 1 and 2. Right now we see cars coming off the pit lane trying to get an additional run in. And there is the 2 of Brad Keselowski, the 8 of Daniel Hemrick, the Ford and the Chevy. Right now separated by maybe about 10 car lengths.
Daniel Hemrick's 3rd on the board, so this car has a little speed out here today. And he's following a guy with a lot of success here. Brad Keselowski winning here last year for Roger Penske.
We've seen that 8 car all of Richard Children's race, and both cars qualified very, very well. That 8 car made a lap time down. Now what can he do? And they're both going to pit, work on a little green flag pit stop, make sure they max out their speed.
Pit road speed 55 miles per hour. Difficult to get down to that after they've been upwards of 200 as they enter the corners 1 and 3. It's final practice for the Monster Energy Cup Series from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the best 5-lap average. Kyle Busch, success at this racetrack. Keselowski won here a year ago. Logano, Eric Jones, Kurt Busch, all up there in the top 5. We see Eric Jones coming off the big win from last week at Darlington, getting himself locked into the playoffs. He had enough points, he was going to be into the playoffs anyway, but that win obviously gives you, we used the word earlier, momentum.
Well, I mean, that's the goal. We talk about points in the playoffs, but every race car driver wants to go to victory lane. I mean, that's how you're raised. And look, talking about momentum entering the playoffs, not just a win, top 5s, 5 of those, average finishes improving. I like to see this 20 cars getting warm at the right time. The playoffs, we have learned, are pressure packed, but you also have to, it's a long regular season. And while 10 weeks seems long, I tell you, it gets short. I think the momentum continues with that contract.
Yes.
It's just re-upped and he'll drive the 20 car again in 2020. I think that has to help the confidence of the driver.
There were so many rumors going around, and it was fun to see. I went and saw Eric in the garage this morning, and it was fun to see he had a smile on his face. And I think that was more of the contract situation, but also the win at Darlington. It's like, yes, you know what? I'm the most recent winner in this series, so I can have a smile on my face. I can feel good entering this last race of the regular season. Marty.
Checking back in with Jimmie Johnson and his group, going out for another run here. A step in the right direction. They ran about 14 laps on the run before this one. Car still too free for Jimmie, and he actually worked on his entry to help his exit. But Junior, he told his crew, listen, let's put on some stickers here. I need to get a feel for my car in traffic. So he tried to find his teammate Alex Bowman. You can see he's almost caught him. He's stuck back there pretty far. But how important, Junior, is it to get a read on your car in traffic like Jimmie wanted to get on his?
I think it's real critical just to get the stickers back on the car and understand where you are, because each time you go back in and out of the garage and cycle the tires, that can affect the handling of the car. So to get a set of stickers on there is a bit of a reset button. See exactly where the balance is. Are we tight enough? Are we too loose? It's a great opportunity here as well to be able to catch his teammate, understand just how much front grip he's going to lose. You want to lose as minimal amount as possible as you catch the traffic. You don't want to lose any front turns, so that's something they can work on right here as well.
And when I look at the lap averages, the 48 doesn't look very well, but when I look lap by lap, there was just a couple slow laps in there that hurt his average. I think the 48's a little better than he shows.
It's a tale of two seasons, isn't it? Alex Bowman and Jimmie Johnson. Alex winning at Chicagoland. Jimmie winless so far this year. Alex in the playoffs. Jimmie trying to get there. It's a lot on the line for the 48, while the 88 is locked and loaded and ready for the playoffs in Vegas next week.
Yeah, the 88's locked and loaded, but they certainly aren't very proud of their performance since that win in Chicago. Want to try to improve on things, and it starts today. I mean, this is not a playoff race. They are locked in, but they are definitely concerned with how they perform this weekend, because I think that momentum can start to build this weekend going into that playoff run.
Yeah, that 88's only one top 5 since the win at Chicagoland, so they definitely want to get things turned around before the playoffs kick off. As we see now, the 48 chasing after the 42 of Kyle Larson, who's been a little bit busy since he's been here. He's been doing a little dirt track racing on the infield of Indianapolis.
Here they come down the back straightaway, the 42. Quite a ways in front of that 48, but still that's affecting the balance on that 48 car. He closes in and tries to close that gap and learn more about his race car. Larson through turn 3 into 4. Johnson has got a report from Marty. He wants to put on tires and really don't see the advantage of those tires. He's not really able to run down anybody in front of him, and looks like Kyle Larson's actually driving away from Jimmie a little bit.
You mentioned a little bit of dirt racing earlier in the infield this week. Well, this was Wednesday night. 20 cars started this main 3 for the final few laps. And look at this, slide job after slide job. They just took the white right here. You see Kyle Larson is in that black curb car. A little bit of contact, a big flip. Another car hits the cushion and flips. Larson spins out but keeps his car running. That's quite a way to come to the checkered flag. I've seen some crazy finishes.
Yeah.
And that was just unreal. 2 cars upside down and 1 backwards in the same set of corners. A crazy finish to the dirt race.
And a compliment to Kyle Larson. Those those rear ends are locked in. There's no transmission there. So that thing was either going to die or it was going to keep running. He was able to keep the wheels spinning while he was spinning and able to finish that race. That's an amazing thing to do.
Keep your foot in it.
Yep.
What I say, you know, but it's always fun to watch these guys, and what a good job Indianapolis Motor Speedway does building that track and putting that show on midweek.
I had a chance to check that race out the other night, Thursday night. Larson was in the race along with a handful of others. Had a chance to talk to him. He loves that kind of racing. That's his golf game. That's the ability to get away and de-stress a tad, as opposed to the stress that he faces here in these races in the Cup Series. He had a blast over there the other night.
I think it's interesting, too. You talk about the stress, you know, as these playoffs start. Guys, what is Kyle Larson's opportunity? You guys think he has a shot to win this championship?
Well, he only has 4 playoff points entering the playoffs, which will begin next week. Obviously, a win here on Sunday would add to that, help him out considerably, but he's going to need some help if he wants to advance all the way to the championship.
Of course, he's got his teammate Kurt Busch that's helped that organization out a lot this year. And perhaps maybe the 42 car is starting to reap some of the dividends of the 1 car, what they've been able to do here in 2019.
Yeah, I really agree with that, man. Kurt Busch coming on board with this company. I think it's pushed his 42 team, whereas they didn't have that motivation of a teammate outperforming them last year. I think that's helped them get into this playoff position. Yeah, I agree. I think anytime somebody on your team is running better than you, it pushes you to be better. It's easy to say over the last couple of years, well, our equipment's not as good as other people. And actually, his competition was even saying that. Kyle Larson's a great driver. His competition's not as good. I mean, his equipment's not as good as mine. And I've heard several drivers say that. But then Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch popped over there and started running up front. And I think that put pressure on this team, and it made this team better. We've seen that. That's not, you know, that's not the only team that's ever happened to is this 42. We've seen it happen throughout NASCAR's history, but certainly is that affecting this team.
Great opportunity for us as fans. We get to ride along. This is helmet cams from all 3 drivers, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, and Jimmie Johnson, giving us their perspective of what it's like behind the wheel.
Just such a great view, and very thankful to these 3 drivers. This is mounted on the helmet, so this is something that you know, we're proud of the work that everybody's put in, but these drivers have to work with us and make sure they're comfortable with it. I've talked to some drivers that don't even know what's up there. Other drivers have to kind of just adjust where it is so they're comfortable, but they understand how important it is to bring this view to the fans. And here we are, final race of the regular season, 3 guys wearing it.
3 different vantage points, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway still a little rough. It's not bricks all the way around, but it's still a little rough. Tomorrow, the premiere of Sunday Night Football. Yep, Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion Patriots are going to host Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. That coverage beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. Football night in America, only on NBC. Steve, I'm sure you appreciated the fact that the Patriots are going to be there, kicking the season off.
Super Bowl champs, Rick. That's what happens. That's what happens, brother.
And a little bit closer here between the 48s and the 24 now. Jimmie Johnson just in front of William Byron.
And then he turns 1 and 2. William Byron sizing up his options. That 24 car's got a little strength to it. What we're seeing in practice, he's trying to get above the back bumper of that 48 of Jimmie Johnson and slide through and make that pass.
Yeah, he's been on the back bumper of this 48 for many, many laps. I've seen him do this to multiple cars. He's been able to get closer than a lot of people are to be able to try to put the pass together. Still not able to do it through turn 3 and 4.
Instant approach right there. He turned way early in the corner just to kind of get the air on his car. Seen if it would load that front of the car enough to where in the 48 car turned and took the air away. Pretty interesting. Did not seem to help, but like the fact he's trying something.
Gap still about a car length and a half between the 48s and 24. William Byron still searching for that first win. Jimmie Johnson trying to get off his winless streak.
Right now they continue to work nose to tail. Trying to close in on their teammate Alex Bowman as they come off 2. And there's Byron again getting that good look from the bottom of turn 2.
And he's able to get closer than most cars. And what's good about that is imagine having a lot of cars behind him, pushing that 24 car up to that 48 car and allowing him to make runs and passes. That's what he's hoping is going to happen on Sunday.
It's a great opportunity for both cars, both drivers, to be able to try to learn, right? Jimmie Johnson, he's in that position. That's what you're going to have to do all day. You're going to have to be perfect, not let him make a mistake. Give the guy a chance to get by you. Great practice for William Byron in trying to make that pass.
I put in this time. Bring it around. Stop in your pit box. Stop in your pit box.
And again, that is communication to William Byron, even though we're showing the 48. People probably thinking.
I won't lie. Chad on the radio and the 48 on the TV screen really spun my head a little bit there.
Chad Knaus now the crew chief for the 24 team of William Byron.
Each lap that goes by that he's not able to get by that 48 is like the sand in an hourglass. That car's tight. Aerodynamically, it's a little bit deficient on the front end. He has to make that move as soon as possible when he gets his car Sunday.
So you heard the call from Jack and House. Pit this time. He's going to simulate exactly what it's going to look like on Sunday. Try to carry as much speed right here as you can. There's the yellow line. That's where pit road speed starts. Get it slowed down, hit pit road speed. Now maintain that speed all the way down pit road. The teams are able to get that information right now. They can go back and look and see if he's going fast enough, if he's not going fast enough, what zones he needs to be better in to relay that information to them. So tomorrow, when we get those green flag stops, he can have the least amount of time on pit road as possible.
Always practicing, always trying to get better as we see the red and black flags. Let's go to Marty for an update on the 6.
And crossing under those red and black flags is Ryan Newman. They were loose at the initial part of this practice session and then got too tight. So got on the other side of it, Steve, and on the splitter. But I talked to Scott Graves this morning. He told me they came with a completely different philosophy here in the final race of the season. A lot of this year, they ran a lot of downforce on the car. This weekend, they are stacked with as little downforce as they can with the car trimmed out as much as possible. While in theory,
that's over here in turn 4. The 11 car appeared to have a problem. I don't know if he had a right front down.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Would not turn. Getting into turn 4. Big impact.
We saw fire coming out of the back of the 11 also. Denny Hamlin, hard contact with the wall. Still on fire. We see the flames shooting out from underneath the hood.
Red and black, we're already out. Practice is coming to a close.
He had an issue. The car would not turn. Getting into turn 3, I can see the marks right now. Just went straight into the wall.
We're still waiting to see
him get out of that car.
Yeah, we need to see Denny get out of that car, and you're seeing a respect of the drivers stopping behind. Now Denny's climbing out. He got the helmet off.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Rick. All the drivers just stopped, give him plenty of room, let him get out. Great job by those guys. Good to see him get out. That was a big hit, huge hit.
Yeah, Denny gets to the inside wall as the smoke continues to roll out. Drivers, you see Brad Keselowski waving at him, making sure that he's okay.
Gosh, Steve, you mentioned it. really coming to pit road, right? Practice is over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these guys are all coming to pit road. They've all got the red and black. I don't know what was going on. It's very interesting timing. I mean, the wreck itself, we've seen in Indianapolis, 90-degree corners, seen a lot of big impacts on the right side. You see how flat the right side of the 11 car is, but that's in front of you is turn 4. So unless he was coming around hard to come to pit road, but that's hard to do when practice is over. There's usually so much traffic.
Yeah, he had a problem. It was way before anything he would have been doing to get on pit road. It was on the entrance to turn 4. Not on the exit or anything. The car would not turn. He got in the corner and it's going straight. I couldn't get a view of the right side of the car to know if he had a tire going down, but it literally went straight right into the wall.
He's going to make his way to the infield care center. Let's take another look at what happened.
Here is off the bumper cam. And the car is just never even attempts to make the corner. I don't know. Something is obviously amiss. That's not a place that you would expect the driver to have control issues.
Yeah, and from my vantage point, there's a distinct black mark where he had the tires locked up trying to get it slowed down. If he would have made a mistake, he would have been chasing the car, trying to catch the car right as he got into the corner. That's not what happened. I couldn't see, but I don't know if the tire went down, but something broke on that car. Clearly, he just went perfectly straight.
We haven't seen a throttle hang for a long time. Is that something that is something of the past? I mean, you mentioned the tire marks trying to slow it down.
I'm not going to say it's impossible. Mechanical failures happen. Tires are rubber and air. If you run over or something, it's going to cut the tire down. Good to see. You can see right here, gets out and all that smoke.
Yeah, something else on that is that from what I can see, I only see one black mark off a tire, right? If a throttle hung, you'd see 2 black marks going into the wall.
So a scary moment there for the driver of the 11, Denny Hamlin, out of the car. Help those affected by Hurricane Dorian, visit redcross.org, or you can text Dorian to 90999 to donate $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Dorian Relief. Coming up, it is Countdown to Green for the Xfinity Series. That's next, right here on NBCSN, as well as racing from the Brickyard at 3 o'clock. A little bit scary there, seeing at the very end of practice, not very many laps on the tires, but maybe a tire issue for the 11.
Yeah, it looked like he was about a 10-lap run, looking at timing and scoring, and you see a huge impact, and then the fire out the back of the car. You would imagine an impact like that breaks something off the motor. Fuel, oil, could be any combination of the two. Catches fire, as you can see right there. And the smoke, I mean, it was thick, black smoke when that 11 stopped. It was good to see. The window net comes down almost instantly right here, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wanting to get out of that race car. Probably no brakes, right? Probably he's knocked the brake lines out of it, knocked the right front brake caliper off of it, so he's just got to let it grind to a halt before he can get out of it, and that's a scary moment for a driver trying to get that thing stopped. There's really nothing you can do. Keep it in gear, right? You put it in first gear, try to get it slowed down that way.
There's the backup car. It's coming out. We're not able to talk to Denny right now. He's in the infield care center getting checked out. We'll obviously be able to talk to him prior to tomorrow's Cup Series race.
This will be the second backup car in 2019 for Denny Hamlin. The only good news, I guess, of the situation is last time he finished second at New Hampshire. So they have proven to be able to unload a backup car with success. We'll see if they have the same sort of success here.
And so that ends final practice. Again, qualifying will be tomorrow morning for the Monster Energy Cup Series. Coming up next is Countdown to Green for the Xfinity Series.